Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how you can automatically generate all of your project proposals for your clients. Let's get into it. One of my least favorite things about running my AI automation agency is the amount of time, the amount of work it takes in writing project proposals for prospective clients. It's the worst. I hate it. Especially when you put in like 2 hours to writing a very nice custom project proposal for a client, then you never hear from them. It's just a drag. So I have created an automated proposal generator that I'm going to show you. I built it in make.com. I'm going to take you under the hood right now, show you how it works, and then I will have this template linked down below in my school community so you can just import it into your workflows and use this and potentially sell it to clients. So without further ado, let's hop in. All right, so we are going to be using 3 tools today. Firstly, we're going to be building this automation in make.com. We are going to be using a tool called Tally to essentially be our form, our free form submitter. Okay, so this is where we're going to put in all of our inputs for our proposal. Okay, so we're going to talk about what you put in here in a second, and I'm going to be using PandaDoc here as like my actually proposal template software. Okay, and I'll talk about this in a second too. Now you could use instead of PandaDoc, you could use DocuSign, you could use Google Docs if you wanted. I prefer PandaDoc because it's just so professional and you get a bunch of cool like payment functionality. Same thing with Tally. You don't have to use Tally. You could use like Typeform or something, but this is completely free and you have to pay for Typeform. So anyways, we're going to essentially be building a workflow that goes like this. You hop on an intro call with a prospective client. You gather their details. You hear what they need. And then right after you get off the call, all you have to do is essentially distill all of their information into these, basic questions, fill this out once, and then hit submit. And from there, we're going to create a custom PandaDoc proposal and send it to them completely automatically. Okay. So the cool thing about this is, normally you hop off a call, you say, hey, I'll get you a proposal in a day or two because it just takes so long. And then, you lose them in that waiting period. You can lose them. Here, you can literally get off a call and 5 minutes later, fill this out, send it to them. And so 5 minutes after they get off the call with you, they have a proposal that's custom written for them right there in their hands immediately, and so you can close more deals. Okay, so let's go into our form here and see what we need to gather. So this is how I built mine. You can tweak this for you, but essentially I'm going to put in the first name of my lead, the last name of my lead's email, my potential lead's company name, and then I need a 1-sentence description of their business. I need to describe to my AI proposal generator what my lead's problem is. I need to describe what my proposed solution is going to be, and then give it like platforms, tools we'll use during development just for some additional rich context, and then a timeline and a price. Okay. And so again, the idea here is you hop on a quick intro call with your client, and then you have all this information. You can fill this out. Okay. And that's all you have to do. That'll take no more than 5 minutes, and then you hit submit. Okay. So I would set up a form that looks something like this. All right, and again, we'll go into each of these fields here in a bit when we get into our actual automation. And so this will make sense in a second. The second thing I want to show you here is our actual PandaDoc template. Now, I've set this up before this video because it would just take a decent bit of time to do, but you'll get the idea. So you can set up something called a template in PandaDoc, and you can save it as a template. And then you can see here that in your template, you can put these variables. So you can have like a project title variable. You can have like your client's first name, last name, company, along with your first name, last name, and company. So it looks like, for every single document you create, it's for your new client. Okay. Then you can have, set copy here. Not everything has to be a variable. So every single lead or every single proposal I generate for a lead is going to have this intro page, kind of introing my company. It's going to have some, case studies here. This is all just to make it look professional. And then we're going to get into this page right here. And so this is where we're really going to start generating a lot of our AI written proposal content. And I like to structure this kind of like as the challenge and then our solution, and, frame their problem against our solution in these proposals and really detail here what exactly we're going to build for the client. And so you'll see all this populate here in just a few minutes. Okay. But you can see, again, it's like 80% of this is, static text, and we're just feeding in variable text here into these dynamic fields. Continuing on, we're going to give each project a custom timeline with milestones. So again, our AI will write this for us. And then lastly, we're going to actually feed in like a price and have them pay 50% down before we launch a project. So this PandaDoc proposal is going to get sent to our client automatically. They're going to be able to sign that document here. And then once they sign it, they're going to be redirected to pay the 50% down payment to actually launch the project. And we don't start a project until we receive payment up front. So that is what we have set up. And so now that you have the kind of groundwork and you understand how we have set up Tally and how we have set up PandaDoc, now we're going to start actually building out our automation here in Make and showing you how we're going to populate all these fields. All right. So I'm going to come into Make now. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to search for Tally because we want to set up a webhook for whenever we, submit this form. Okay. So I have one set up here already, but if you wanted to add a new one, you're just going to have to connect to your Tally account and then go find the form that you want to link to. So mine would be proposal generator. You're just going to hit save and you're connected. Okay. So anytime I submit this form, we're going to launch our workflow. It's that simple. All right. And so I'm just going to run this here and I want to get some dummy data coming through here. So I'm just going to do, Luke Skywalker, Luke@yahoo.com, Rebel Alliance. Again, I'm just feeding stuff in here so we have some data to work with back in Make. Test. This is my problem. Here's my solution. Here are my tools. And then 2 weeks, and then $5,000. Okay, so let's just submit this and get some data pulling in. Okay, so we can see that just triggered. Perfect, and we can see all of our fields here. Okay, so now what we can do is we can actually start to feed all of those forms, all that information that we submitted here in our forms. We can feed that into OpenAI or Claude or some sort of AI tool to start writing custom variables that we can then insert into our proposal. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drop in an OpenAI module, okay? And I've got this one pre-made, but I'm going to walk you through exactly how I've done it. All right? So essentially what I'm going to do now is I'm going to feed in all of these fields here from my Tally form into OpenAI to start generating me some of these problem fields and solution fields, okay? So we're going to train OpenAI now to write and give us an output that we can plug in here into our template for each client, all right? And so I'll walk you through our prompt here and how we have this set up. So we're going to connect to OpenAI, all right, and then we're going to create a chat completion. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to give it a system prompt. Give it basically its overarching goal. You're a helpful, intelligent sales assistant. Then we're going to give it a user prompt, and we're actually going to tell it what we need it to do for us, okay? And so we're going to say, hey, we're an AI automation agency that builds these systems. Below is a loose scope for a project. Turn that into a high-quality proposal in JSON format. All right. Now this could be different for you. If you're not running an AI automation agency, if you're offering different services, obviously tweak this. All right, but you get the point. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to give it a user prompt. All right, and this we're now going to start training OpenAI on. Hey, if we give you information that looks like this from our form, if we give you something that looks like this, well then we want you to output something that looks like this. Okay, and so this user prompt, we're basically saying, hey, if I give you a business description that looks like this, and I give you a solution that looks like this, and I give you tools that look like this, okay, again, all from here, all from, problem, solution, tools. So if I give you those fields that look like something like this, well then, I want you to give me an output that looks like this. So give me a problem, and I want that to have multiple points. So 1, 2, 3. Perfect. And then also I want you to give me a title for my proposal. All right. So again, we're training it, basically saying, hey, if we give you data that looks like this from our form, well then I would expect you to give me something that looks like this, that I can then feed into these variables here in this title field. Okay, does that make sense? I hope it does. Good. All right. Then we're going to give it another example. Okay, so we're giving it 2 different examples. And again, this exact template is going to be linked down below. All you have to do is go join my free school community and you can just import this right into your account. Okay, but same thing. given this information about a fake company, I would expect you to give me a problem, a solution, and a title that looks like this. Perfect. All right, so we train it twice, and then we do a last prompt here, and it's a user prompt. And this is where we actually feed in our fields, okay? And so our business description, well, we can go grab this now from our tally form. All right, so business description is this field right here. All right, the problem field is right, let's see here, what's their problem? The solution field is what's your proposed solution? And then the tools field is what tools will you use during development, okay? So now what we're doing is we're taking actually our live data from Tally that we submitted, that dummy data, and we're feeding it in now here so that, this happens automatically. All right, max completion tokens 5,000 because we want it to write a lot. And the last thing I want to do is I just want to have my response format as a JSON object, and I want to parse my response. All right, and basically all that's going to do is it's going to basically allow us to select each of these individual JSON keys or JSON items as individual objects. All right, so just go check those on and you'll be good to go, okay? So we're gonna hit save. All right, so that's good. So we are now generating a title. We are then generating a problem and a solution. Perfect, that looks good. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to actually generate our milestones and our timelines. So we're gonna do another OpenAI module in order to generate that detail. Okay, so I'm going to paste in my second OpenAI module here. All right, and again, I'm gonna walk you through exactly how this prompt is set up. All right, so again, we start with our system prompt, your helpful, intelligent writing assistant. All right, and then I want you to write me 4 sophisticated sounding milestones and associated timelines for a project proposal. Use the below JSON format, okay? So it's basically gonna give us milestone 1, timeline 1, milestone 2, timeline 2, milestone 3, timeline 3, 4, and 4. And we're gonna plug each of those into their own variable right here, okay? All right, and then we're gonna give it an example. All right, so we're gonna feed in, again, our solution, again, which is coming from here. All right, so hey, given this solution, all right, and given the rough timetable, which is coming from right here, basically, I'm asking it to break that down into, different steps and milestones. All right, so given that, I want you to give me something that looks like this. Milestone 1, MVP and outreach process flow. That'll take us 1 week. Milestone 2, platform setup. That'll take us 5 days. All right, so we're training it again. All right, so I want an output that looks like this. All right, and then all we do is we now feed in our actual live data. So we're going to feed in our solution. So it's the same thing as before, where we are going to, let me just move this over for you, where we're going to, drop in our proposed solution. And then same thing here for our timetable. How long will this project take? Okay, so we're now feeding in our actual data from our proposal form here into this OpenAI module. Okay, and then last thing we want to do again is we want to go to advanced settings. We want this to return as a JSON object, and we want to parse that response. And I'll show you why that matters in a second, and it'll make more sense. All right, we're going to hit save. I'm going to save this so we don't lose anything. Okay, so now I'm just going to run this, and we're going to do a fake response here. All right, just to pull some data in so you guys can see how this is working before we move on to dropping all of this into our PandaDoc module. Okay, so I'm just going to do some fake stuff here. And, Rebel Alliance is a consulting firm. They are having trouble generating leads. We are going to build them an automated lead generator. Make.com, automation platform, instantly cold email platform. And this project's going to take us 2 weeks, and it's going to cost us $5,000. Okay, so I'm going to submit this. And we are going to now just get some dummy output here and make sure this is looking good. If it's not, we can reprompt it. But I want to show you kind of how this output looks. Okay, so just like that, we've written most of our proposal. And so now I can come in here and see kind of what we're looking at. Okay, so I can go to result and I can see our title. Okay, so we have a title that it came up with for us. So automated lead generation system for Rebel Alliance, perfect. We're gonna have our problem, and again, we're feeding all of this back in right here, okay? And our title will be at the very top. All right, so your firm lacks a scalable inbound system. Rebel Alliance is operating without a consistent or automated way to generate qualified leads, perfect. 2, manual prospecting is inefficient and outdated. 3, you're not leveraging cold email at scale, perfect. We're also going to have a solution. We'll deploy an automated cold email engine. We'll automate lead flow and qualification, and we'll establish repeatable IP. Perfect. Okay. So we have problem, we have solution, and we have title. That looks good. Let's see how our milestones came out. And we'll look at the same thing here. All right. So requirements, analysis, and architectural design. So we'll define target lead profiles, data sources, and outreach channels. Perfect. Then we'll actually develop the lead acquisition engine. We'll integrate outreach, automation, and scoring, and then we'll test, optimize, and deploy. And this is going to take us 2 weeks, which is exactly what we wanted. So this is looking really good. All right. Now, when we went in here and we chose return as JSON object and parse the response right here. Remember when we did this? The reason we did that is because now when you look at our result, see how each of these different fields is like its own item or object? That's good. That's all that did. It just parsed it out into separate objects that we can now grab in our next step. Okay. So this is looking really good, guys. All right. So I'm just going to come in here now and I'm going to drop in a PandaDoc module. And it's going to be a create a document module. All right. And so now all we're doing is we're going to feed all of these fields out of OpenAI into our template right here. Okay. So we're going to give our document a name. So I think we're just going to do title. All right. So that'll be the name of our document. The template ID is going to be our version 7 official proposal template. So just this one right here. All right. And the second I choose that, it is now going to automatically pull in all of the variables that I have set here. Okay. So now all those variables will show up here as different fields in make.com, which is sweet. All right. So now we just got a map field. So client email. Remember, we're getting client email from Tally. Remember, we put that in right at the top of our form, right here. Okay, so we're going to go grab that from Tally. All right, so client email is email. Sender email is just me. Okay. Then we're going to come down to these role fields here. Okay. And so client company is going to be Rebel Alliance. Client first name is Luke. Client last name is Skywalker. All right. The sender company is me. So version 7. The sender first name is me. The sender last name is me. Perfect. And again, those are just populating these fields right here. Good. And then we're going to map milestones. All right. And it looks like we need to get some dummy data in here. So I'm going to run this again and put in some dummy stuff here. We are going to build a lead generator. This will take 2 weeks. Okay, so let's just get an output here. I think something went wrong earlier. Okay, so we have an output. Now we should be able to grab all these and throw them into PandaDoc. So sorry for that. Okay, so let's come back here. We're going to come to milestones, and here they are. So again, we're parsing that JSON, so now we can grab these individually. So client milestone 1, client milestone 2, client milestone 3, client milestone 4, and then timeline 1, timeline 2, timeline 3, and then timeline 4. All right, so that's that. I don't think we need this field. I don't know what that's for. That might be an extra variable that I've added in my template. I think. Okay, problem summary. Well, that's easy. So the problem summary is again from our first OpenAI module. That's our problem. We can do project price if we need to. And so that's going to be here. Project title again is here. And then our solution summary is our solution pitch variable. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so that is all good. Now the last thing we need to do is we need to come in here and actually like make sure we're pulling in the right price and all this into our pricing table. And it gets a little weird with PandaDoc here with our pricing table. But basically we're going to add a product, add a pricing table. We're going to set our currency to USD. We're going to add a section. I'm going to name this hidden. And then we're going to add a row. And, you don't need to know any of this. Again, this is going to be in the template that you can just upload. So don't worry about any of this. I'm essentially just pulling in our price here into my pricing table. Again, it's not worth getting into just because it honestly is kind of confusing. All right, so it's all good. So I'll get all this set up right here like this, and that should be fine, okay? Again, that's just populating this table here. All right, now the last thing we want to do is we want to actually send this document automatically, okay? Now we don't have to. If we wanted to generate this document and then not send it until we hop in and review it, we could do that. But I like to just send it automatically. And so, I'll say something like version 7 official proposal. And this is where we're writing an email to our client. So I'm going to say, hi, and I'm going to go grab their first name. Hi, first name. Attached to this email is your official proposal. Thanks for the chat earlier. Okay, remember now, you're potentially sending this proposal 5 minutes after you get off a call with them. So, just keep that in mind. All right, and that should be it. Okay, so I'm gonna hit save. We're gonna save this automation here. And now we're gonna do some testing. We're gonna make sure that this is working well. All right, so let us put in some more fake data here. We're gonna do Vince Vaughn at yahoo.com. All right, and we're gonna do, I don't know, laughs are us. We don't need this. Okay. Laughs Are Us is a content generation company based in New York. Their problem is they are spending too much time generating content for their clients. Okay. Our proposed solution is we are going to give them a fully automated content management system that auto posts to multiple channels automatically. Whatever. Okay, we'll be using make.com as our automation tool. We're going to be using OpenAI to generate content and images, and we're going to be using Airtable to serve as content management infrastructure /UI. This project's going to take 3 weeks, and we're going to charge $12,000 for it. Okay, so let us run this. I'm going to submit the form, and then we can see how our proposal turns out here in just a second. Okay, so form submission is done. We just generated our problem and our solution and our title. We just generated our milestones, and now PandaDoc is actually creating our document, putting all of those generated fields into our template. Okay, so that is done. It all worked successfully. I'm going to come back to PandaDoc. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to come to Documents, and we should be able to see this new one that just sent. Perfect. So Vince Vaughn, Laughs Are Us. All right. And we can now see what this looks like. Okay. Again, that took, 30 seconds? So here's our automated content management system for Laughs Are Us. It's going to Vince Vaughn at Laughs Are Us. It's prepared by me at version 7. He gets the intro, static template. He gets the case studies. Perfect. And now you can see all of our fields here are filled in dynamically. So the challenge, based off our conversation, here's the core issue your business is facing. Content execution is overwhelming your team, and manual content workflows don't scale, with some nice description. So that looks good. Here's our solution. We're going to give you full automation across a content generation and distribution. So we will build a fully automated content pipeline using OpenAI, Airtable, and Make to orchestrate workflows. Content will be generated, organized, and approved if necessary, and automatically posted across multiple platforms. Beautiful. Infrastructure designed for scale. Perfect. So this now looks like we spent a lot of time putting together an actual problem that they're facing and the solution that we are pitching them. And it does this all for us automatically. We can go to the development timeline here, and we can see that it's doing a great job now. We might want to make these a little shorter. So we might want to go train our system a little bit, but you get the point. We're getting set phases, set milestones along with timeline, and it fills up 21 days or 3 weeks, which is exactly what we wanted. All right, so this looks like we put together a custom timeline just for them in their platform, which is sick. And then you can see right here, we have our pricing table. All right. And so you have the title, you have the price, $12,000, and then we're going to make them pay $6,000 up front to start the project. All right. And then we've got these really cool signature fields down here that when Vince signs, he's going to get redirected automatically to that payment page where he can pay via card or bank account. Now, one thing, a tip that I want to tell you about and that I do all the time is, this has already saved us 95% of our time. Normally, putting a proposal like this together would take 2 hours probably. This takes us 3 minutes. So it's absolutely insane. A way you can save even more time is if you use like on your call, like Google Meet or like some sort of transcript service, like Fireflies or something, and you basically, you can feed in your meeting transcript automatically to fill out these forms for you. So you don't even have to come up with the description of their business, their problem, their solution. You can just feed in your meeting transcript, have OpenAI or have this done automatically, fill these in for you, and then you can spend like 30 seconds putting all this together and your proposals will go out the door automatically just from a meeting transcript. So a lot of cool things you can do here. Anyways, guys, that is the automated proposal generator that I love to use to save me hours and hours and hours every single week. I hope you guys got a lot of value out of this video. Again, if you want this template, go down in the description below. I will have my school community link down there. It's completely free. And there you can actually download and upload this JSON template out of make.com into your own scenario so you can use it for your own company or sell it to other clients. So if you guys like this video, go down and smash that like button for me. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, consider subscribing. That would be awesome. If you have any questions, get down in the comments and let me know. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I appreciate you guys all being here, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.